So if you're an owner of the Gaahleri Swallowtail SD, this is the 8th series. Here's a breakdown for you in case you ever need a service or maintenance or do some deep cleaning. So, I guess I'll start with the quick disconnect on the bottom, which does come standard with all Gaahleri brushes. If you don't have these on your air hose, then any 1/8 air fitting will fit on the bottom. So once that's removed, there's a little screw that holds down that grip. Just loosen that. Grip will slide right off, exposing the air valve and an extended handle. Extension tube here. So this just unscrewed fairly easily, and it is in 2 parts here. So once you unscrew that, be careful, the spring could fall out. But once I push on that plunger, they usually come together. So here's your air valve casing, extension tube, spring, and the plunger. Now let's move on to the brush itself. Now this is your fluid control knob. Depending where you set that will determine how much you can pull on that trigger. This will control how much paint will come out. Usually you take the handle all off together, but for the breakdown, I'll remove that as well. So now that that's off of there, you can finish removing the handle, which exposes the needle. Now the needle is taken off easily by just loosening the screw. When it's on, you should be able to pull that trigger and the needle should come with it. But now that it's loose, I can just take the needle out. Now I'll finish removing that screw and move on to the waist plate components. Now this is just a hold down ring for the needle chuck and needle spring. So take that off, then the spring and your needle chuck. Now you will notice a little indentation on here, and it has the function of this little screw on the inside of the body. If that screw is not in there, this thing will be able to turn and you'll never be able to tighten this needle chuck screw. So that's why that's there, as well as holding that brass screw in place. So now I need to remove that with just a flathead screwdriver. Couple of turns and that comes right out. And now I can take that out of there with a larger flathead screwdriver. Once I have it to the point where it's kind of sticking out of the body, I usually just grab it by hand for the rest. Now there is the spring inside the body would be the next part, and the slide cam. Sometimes it falls out on its own, and sometimes you have to press it. Now do take note, there is packing grease on here, so if you do a deep clean, make sure you put some back before you reinstall it. Now I will go ahead and release that trigger lever, which is also just another flathead screwdriver on one side. Give that a few turns, and you can grab it, and it'll pop right out. I don't have fingernails, so it's a little harder for me. Oh, there it is. This is also why I like demoing on a terry cloth, so when parts do fall, they don't want you to roll around too much. So now that lever is off of there, exposing that packing screw inside the body. That's the one that stops paint from getting all over your fingers. So just grab a maintenance tool, give it a little catch there, and finish unscrewing it. I like to take it out with my tool if I can. There is a little knob here. It goes on either side depending on which side you put your bottle. All Gaahleris come with some type of protective cover on there. If you still have that, go ahead and remove it. That exposes your round protective cover. Once that's off, now you can gain access to your air cap, which has the nozzle that rests in place. So careful when you remove that. As you can see, the nozzle is just inside there. And there's your nozzle. Now you can do any service, cleaning, or maintenance you need to do. And that's the breakdown of the Gaahleri Swallowtail SD. Alright, so putting it back together. I like to keep it in some type of order when I take it apart. That way I kind of remember, if it is my first time, where everything goes. I'm not confused or lost anything. So it's always a good time to start with the pack and seal. Just reinstall that back into the body. Like I always say, counterclockwise and then clockwise. You want just enough tension where that seal blocks the paint, but it also gives enough on the needle itself to go back and forth. If this is too hard or very hard to pull, then you over tightened it. But if you under tighten it, then it'll fall out of the body. So put it in, make sure it does hold it on its own, and you're usually good to go. Now I will put the front end back together. So I'll grab my air cap and seat the nozzle back inside. I usually have to give it a little bit of a push, flatten it down. Be careful when you're doing so, and it should rest nice and flat again. Now you can screw it back onto the body. You'll know if it's not lined up properly. It won't screw on right, it'll start catching. You'll feel it. Now you can put the protective round cover back on. This little stopper for either side of your fluid. And it's a good time for your slide cam. Now keep in mind the little angle on this slide cam. You want to make sure that's facing forward so you got full range of motion to that trigger. So pop that back in. Now you can put the spring back in and that casing screw. There is a little hole on here and we're going to line that up with the body so you can put that mounting screw back in. I turn it back by hand for most of it and then finish off with a flathead screwdriver. I'll just keep an eye on that hole till I start seeing that little screw again. A little hole there. You'll notice if it's not lined up right away. That screw won't go in and you won't be able to tighten it down. So once that looks like it's lined up, you can grab your flathead screwdriver and tighten it back down. This is what provides tension for that trigger, by the way. So, now that that's in place, I'll go ahead and reinstall that needle chuck. There's only one way to do it once that screw is installed. That little flat part of the needle chuck is what holds it in place. Now the spring, followed by the waist plate. Now that that's all together, I'll put the tightening screw on the end. Just a little, not completely just yet. Seems like a good time for this trigger lever, so I'll slide that back up to the body there and put the screw in. The holes are different size, so you can't get it wrong. Now lock that in place and you're all set. You should feel some tension here and everything should feel nice and smooth. Now you can proceed with the needle. And this is why I like to have the chuck screw on, because there is a little indentation here and it's less likely you damage that needle when reinstalling it. Just push it all the way forward and lock it into place. That needle should move along with your trigger as you pull it. Now you can put the back handle back on and your fluid control knob. protective cover that was on there earlier. And last but not least, the grip in your air valve. So I'll take that casing, rubber plunger facing top, towards the front, top of it, push it all the way in. Now put your spring over that plunger on the end and grab your extension tube, try to line it up with that hole there, counter, and then tighten. Hand tight's usually good enough. Give that plunger a little press, make sure that seems to be nice and smooth, and now you can install it back on the body. Hand tight is usually enough. If not, there are marks here where you can get a wrench on there and make it slightly tighter. Now just put your grip back on. Lock it down with that hold down ring so it doesn't flop all over the place. Make sure it's seated. And you can put your quick disconnect on it. And there's your breakdown of the Gaahleri Swallowtail SD in the trigger style. If you don't have one yet, feel free to grab one here at spraygunner.com.